So here we are on Saturday. I think now we're at July 11th already. Feels like it was June just a minute ago. And Encinitas Mindfulness Community, welcome to everyone. We thought we'd start that way so that when people click on us from the internet, they don't feel like they just entered into a party they weren't invited to, which is how it seems when we're just chatting. So thank you all for being here and joining us. Those from, let's see, I've got Courtney, who I think is still in Colorado, right? Right,
Yes.
Colorado, and maybe, but I'm not sure whether we have Robin on today. Oh, there's
Yep.
Robin. And Robin, are you in Park City?
Yes. Yes.
Park City. So we have from Park City, we have Marie on from the Atascadero area. So just so you know, and Denise, I'm not even sure if Denise is in Encinitas. She may be traveling uh, somewhere, but I will be at. Oh, this is the other Denise. I've got more than one Denise. Welcome, everyone. So, yeah, yeah. I want to begin with this inquiry. When I say Noble Eightfold Path, when I say right view, what comes to mind for you? And we're going to talk up, though I have this on high so that everyone can hear us. When I say Noble Eightfold Path, and then when I say right view, what comes to what just hits you? I don't want analyzing. I don't want a right answer. Let that go, folks. Let that go. No, no, no. That will be dumb.
The middle way.
The middle way. We're going to ask Lynn what that means in a minute, but for now we're just going to collect. Middle way. What else?
Home.
Home.
Honest.
Honest.
Open.
Open.
I'm not sure why, but behavior.
Behavior. Way of being.
Courtney says philosophy of living.
Philosophy of living. A way of living and being.
Non-dual.
Non-dual. No separation between us and what appears to be for a moment a curriculum. It is not correct.
No two.
No two. No two. Now, of course, in the Zen koan, the whole of that is no, not two, not one. Just to get your twizzle brain started on that. We'll talk for a second about not two because that is in fact an essential understanding in what this noble eightfold path actually is. Any other thoughts from chat about that? Carrie, do you see anybody else?
No.
Okay. So noble, let's start with the first. Oh, Denise.
Equanimity, non-judgment.
Non-judgment and equanimity. These would certainly be qualities that would be in evidence as we are cultivating the noble eightfold path. So that was really lovely. Let's talk about what it isn't then for fun, because often what it isn't can be a little cleaner than the ideas and often abstractions. Anybody hear that? Oh, I don't know what open really means. I don't know what middle means compared to what, right? But what isn't it?
Rules.
Rules, thank you. What isn't it?
Commandments.
Commandments, thank you. What else isn't it? Yes, Courtney's nodding, so she sees, look at how good that knot gets us right away. What else? It's not commandments, not rules, not a curriculum. It is not 8 separate paths. It is one with qualities, ways of being, ways of living. It is not, said Courtney already, it is not a concept. It is actually what is lived this moment. Now, what if I said then that every moment is the Noble Eightfold Path and that your feet are always on it? I had to just come up with that metaphor. Thank God for Paul's feet. Yeah, your feet are always on it, no matter what,
Where your brain is.
no matter where the brain is. And then how do we understand that reality? How do we understand that reality?
That even if you're not doing it exactly like right, you're still on the path.
You are.
Connected.
Even if it's all wrong,
Wrong, yeah, whatever.
couldn't we say
Whatever you're doing,
you are
yeah.
still actually on the Noble Eightfold Path? How did we get accorded that possibility?
By being born.
Yes. Who said that? Who said that?
Larry did. But it's our birthright.
Janine. Fabulous. Love that. By the act of being born to this, what are the words we use? Precious and impermanent, brief human experience. By virtue of being born, says these teachings, you have been accorded a privilege that is accorded to few throughout all universes, throughout all times, throughout all directions, and we forget. And that then becomes the sacredness of the path. When you, what? What do you have to do? Remember simply. You don't have to get it right, said Cindy. You don't have to get an A. You just have to remember this moment in this precious human life, as fucked up, as failed, as aggravating, as disappointing, as scary, as betraying, as grief-stricken as it is already, according to these teachings, perfect. Why? Because it doesn't feel good, folks. I didn't say that. Why is it perfect?
It allows us to become liberated.
Yes.
It is the one.
This very moment has been perfectly constructed, says the Buddha, and every other spiritual tradition, by the way. Let's not be sectarian about it. This moment has been constructed not only by you, we have to take some responsibility. Oh, shit. By you, it has been constructed for you. You would not confront this were you not a part of the infinite, right? This is the essential teaching. Causes and conditions that have come well beyond you. So this is not what? Punishment. This is not karma. Well, it is karma, but not in the you did it so you deserve it. And we mistake this, right? This condition. Do you know what's interesting? If you did not have the mind you have with the heart you have, you would not confront that. How is it so? Exactly same situation. You're still at the red light, the blue car's still coming, because those are causes and conditions also beyond what we can know, see, right? But you would not be in that situation. And what would be different? Since the blue car is the blue car, it's coming the way it's coming. The view, how you perceive that moment. Now it is still a blue car and it's still coming exactly the way it's coming. But those are the only two facts, right? How you perceive, how you experience, right? How you then relate to that moment defines it, doesn't it? It defines it. How am I going to integrate, metabolize, use, gain wisdom, understanding, compassion is the inter then being. Thich Nhat Hanh used to say, I inter are and inter am. Isn't that lovely? With everything. So then what would be different? Still a blue car, it's still coming the way it's coming. What's different then? Since the facts are the facts, ma'am, I
If it
guess.
hit you or not.
It might hit you or not hit you. What else is different? Whether it hit you or not, then let's go one beyond it. Might hit you, might not. And what's unconditioned potential there? Could hit you, could not hit you. Is all true. Anybody know? One's capacity to what? Recognize. One's capacity to hold, with then potential for understanding. What would be, according to the Buddha then, it's getting harder, it's okay. What would be the Buddha's perspective on this event? So I said, we can always bring awareness, we can always be present, we can always bring certain wisdoms. What, according to the Buddha now, and this frees some people who don't have those teachings, there is always something else to bring. And he calls these the 3 marks of existence that we're going to talk about today. He says, with the recollection of this, there will be no suffering. Well, that's a handy formula. With the recollection or the knowing of the 3 marks of existence that we're going to talk about, there would be no suffering, regardless of what happened with that blue car. The blue car hits you or it doesn't hit you. It goes the other way. Right? There is no way to know, except there is something to know as well. Yes, Lisa, what?
Impermanent.
Everything is impermanent. He says this teaching is essential. And to recollect it in the moment of difficulty is useful. Now, we teach this, don't we, in the Western psychologies? We go, now remember, this doesn't last. It feels bad, it's scary, it's painful, it's hard, but it is not permanent. Right? Right in the Western psychologies, we teach it. And so that's one of the first recollections. We'll talk more about it. But it is impermanent. It will not last. What would be another one?
Suffering.
Yes, there is certain, Janine, right? Certain. The reality of suffering is guaranteed, not because we are failed or deserving of it. Not accurate. This is very more Christian, right? You did it wrong, and because you did it wrong, you're going to suffer, and then we have, right? There is certain suffering. Where is that from? The clinging mind that goes, this should not be happening. Who says this? Everybody. Is there anybody who doesn't say this? This should not be happening. This should not be happening to me. And this now is permanent, fixed, horrible. Right. So do we get the 3 marks already? We're going to talk some more about them. But what would happen, do you imagine, if you just recollected a difficult moment? And we have them every day. So what would happen if you invited those 3 inquiries?
Isn't it 2? I got lost. I'm sorry. Suffering, impermanence.
And no self. Nobody for it to have. Impersonal.
Thank you.
The realities. And I like to frame these as impersonal, imperfect, the truth of dukkha, a life that is imperfect and guaranteed to be in some way unsatisfactory, right? And what's the other one? Impermanent. Impermanent, impersonal, and imperfect. We could call those 3 words to mind, couldn't we? As a sort of shorthand version. Wait a minute. And anything else we do then accept that radical reality is going to contribute to this cause of suffering. The mind that goes, not me, shouldn't be happening, shouldn't be now, it should be better, is inviting a certain, said Janine.
That's a small I, not a big I.
Small I. There is no pronoun, in fact. The truth really is, there is no pronoun, and they are all wrong, isn't it? There is no actual I without the actual you, And so then who is that? Even the we fails now, because what about the we, right, that Dan Siegel talks about. So do we get this idea? Now, I just want to stop for a minute because that's going to be our practice for the week. That's the number one, is to recollect these three marks of existence and then bow to the truth of them, don't we? We don't just name them. It's not quite sufficient. We have to honor the truth of them. And so we bow to it. Yes, just like this. Just exactly like this. When I didn't want it and I didn't like it and I didn't think it was fair and I actually thought it was all messed up and I really don't like the other person. Right? Then what? Wait a minute. There is no other, because there is no self. There is no separate self. We are all in this truly. Inter am, inter are, inter being, says Thich Nhat Hanh. We are not separate. Now I notice when I get frustrated, angry, when I think I'm right, which is, like a lot of the time. Going to be like mostly correct. This is the beginning of wrong view, or unskillful would be even better view, or unwise, or we could even maybe say untrue. We're telling ourselves a story, aren't we? And we're telling the story. Why? Why are we telling the story of I?
Protect the ego.
Yeah, to protect.
It seems so real.
It seems so real. We buy the book and then we subscribe. It's worse. We subscribe, we sign up, and we give it everything, don't we? This is where our suffering begins. It isn't that we fall. We're all subject to this reality. And by the way, like for learning, understanding, gaining wisdom, cultivating compassion for ourselves and others in the difficulty, we're guaranteed to do this. This is not actually the problem. Jim's statement is where the problem is. We buy it. We sign up and we subscribe and say, it is always wrong. They are always the ones. I am not responsible. In fact, what am I? What do we say then? What am I? The victim. The victim, interestingly, of your own mind. Aren't you? You're the victim now of your own mind. The one that went, they, them, he, she, it, over there. First error. Right, first error. Whoops, what did we already say? No separation. Not two, I think was the little Zen offering. And then we go, it should be another way. This is cultivating what? Dukkha. Dukkha, I love dukkha because it sounds so much like caca. Isn't it perfect? So perfect. The reality that this life will not be operating in accord with your preference, simply. Now, interestingly, in the advanced teachings, it says it is, in fact, operating perfectly in accord with what you need. Not with what you want, not with what you hoped for, not with what you think you deserve at all, because the I gets really, really, really big in my I story. With me, the star of my favorite movie. And we construct it, but to our demise. We construct it. So does this make sense for everyone? The three marks of existence, by the way, and I was not clear about this myself. In all of the times we have reviewed right view, wise view, skillful view, beneficial view, we could use all these words, they would mean all of the same, right? So when we say right, we in no way are implying dichotomized right, wrong. We are saying right for the moment, right for the capacity one owns in this moment to affect benefit. Right? That would be what we mean by right, not you do it like this all the time, which is why we did the not words, didn't we? Not a commandment, not a rule. And could we apply that to anything? Who could know the causes and conditions? Who could know in this moment the capacities of you greater than you? Right? And then we would have to bow to that, wouldn't we? We would say, well, the best one could do now, it occurred in our recent journey. Someone said to me, I felt like I should have done something and done something more. What's that? Some demanding I stepping in, going, right? And then really looking around, seeing that some people just literally had their heads down in prayer, literally. Just saying, may you be well, may you be safe, may this, right? That's it. They didn't move a muscle during this someone fainting, right? And then what's that storyline? I am insufficient. I am not enough. I always have to do more. Here's the problem. Then we look to get evidence for that. We look around, don't we? And now we have to look around because we already began from lack, didn't we? We began from insufficiency already. And then we got to go right, good, right? Good enough, right? Or better, right? And then what happens? This is what I notice. Nothing. Nothing. Nobody's clapping. Nobody noticed. Nobody cares. Nobody nothing. And I'm going, fuck y'all. Right? This is you guys' problem now because look what I did. I did. Now, by the way, I'm in recovery on these things. I try to do them less.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? And I still catch it.
Well, that's the thing that's just so interesting is how hidden the whole thing is.
Oh,
It's like this idea of sort of self-worth. Thank God it comes up and I recognize it, but most of the time it clouds my vision and I can't even see it.
can't even see it. Until what, Jim?
Until somebody hits me across the head with a 2x4.
That's literally. It is correct, isn't it?
Yes.
Until suffering continues and worsens and it wakes you up. It is understood to be a doorway, a pathway, and the path to actually get knocked over just like that, to go pay attention. There's something here to see about this mind. I'm not going to use the word you because, right, we grab that wholeheartedly.
Pema talks about getting hit by a Mack truck, and my husband and I once were hit by a Mack
Yes,
truck.
yes.
I was in the passenger side.
And you do wake up.
OMG.
Don't you wake
And
up?
Wake up. It was this slow, I think I'm going to lose my leg. I'm going to have to live without my legs. I guess life isn't so bad. I can do that.
Yep.
Why am I such a bitch to my husband?
Yes.
It's,
Yes, all of that. And we've all been enough in that, right, some version of that. We're crystalline awareness. Like, whoop.
And I
Right,
don't
that
have to be
slow
it.
motion reality called this is impermanent, this doesn't last, you never owned it, and you could have been
And I
nicer,
could do better.
you could have, maybe. Now, of course, that's the little bit of judgment that's trained and conditioned. There is an unconditioned side of this.
It was very soft.
Yes.
What have you been doing?
Yes,
Be kind to that
that's
man.
awareness.
Yeah.
That's the other
In
side.
the middle of literally Mac. I can still see it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Good old Pema.
Yeah. Pema and all of us, so smart. Also.
And there seems to be a deja vu state, because in Guadalajara, I was in a serious accident, and there's like a deja vu state that happens, where you see everything kind of slow motion, and you see the whole windshield shattering a million
That's
pieces.
right. That's right.
And you're flying across the street, and it's like, there's this deja vu state. It's just incredible.
Yes, it's unconditioned state. There is nothing to do now but be, is there? Flying or crushing or whatever the realities. We are actually capable of this without the accident. How nice is this? But we must then wake ourselves right up. And we hope that then this inquiry might support us. We're going to keep looking at some tags as we go along for ways that we can wake up. Now, we already have the three simple: imperfect, impersonal, impermanent, right? We have those three, looking for those realities, saying, yes, this is a precious and brief moment. How may then I live? Right? This is the. Now, by the way, that question, how then may I live, is no longer right view. But does anybody guess what magically happened right there? The minute we go, what now then? If this is true, just like this, right view, these things are occurring as they are occurring, and I have enough clarity of mind, non-judgment, non-big eye, all the things we named to see it. What naturally happens is right intent. Exactly. It flows right into it, doesn't it? Because now I've got the reality. Now I can form what we call right relationship. How then am I going to make contact with this? How then am I going to do this moment, be in this moment? And what qualities, characteristics do I choose to bring? That's called relationship. So first was recognize. This is our other little way of, first I recognize, then I form right relationship. That's intent. And then all of the other of the six suggestions, considerations, and ways of being in the Noble Eightfold Path are response. Anybody get this? I'll go over what they are. But you get what I'm saying? Right view, seeing this clearly, invites the right relationship. Of course it does. I can't now not be with clarity, wisdom, compassion, and equanimity, said Denise, right? I can't be in wrong relationship. There's only right relationship possible. Relationship arises out of that condition. I didn't even have to go, what was the second one? Wait a minute. The second one, right view, I don't know. Because it's here. It's already happening. You are already being this. This is why we let go of the curriculum idea. And then, right, here I am in relationship. And then what? Then infinite right possibilities for response. And there is no one, is there? Because it cannot now be separate from you. And then we say, I am not victim to the world. I am co-creator, co-constructor, and author of this thing called life. Aren't we? Truly. And then we watch for the habit to go, poor me, why me? How did this happen to me? It couldn't happen to you, could it? It was a set of conditions arising, however, and they may be exactly as you saw them. Doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you didn't like it very often, but you're not wrong. But the minute we turn that wheel, the Dharma wheel, and go, shouldn't be happening to me, shouldn't be said to me, shouldn't be, we can't continue on the path, can we? Now, the reason I'm even talking about this is Denise Funfar. Yeah. Denise Funfar sat here a Saturday ago and said, hey, I was looking for right action. Whoops. We can't, can we? We can only be that. There is no looking, because the looking happens in the recognizing. And then what? The metabolizing of that truth. There will be no analysis. It will not serve you. And then how do I form right relationship with that? And that you can't think through. The equanimity, the compassion, the love, the kindness does that for you. You're just, right, saying, where in me is this? Wish for no harm, wish for well-being for myself and all beings. And that includes the other, who I just named other, right? So do we get this idea? And then you begin to see quickly that this is a mandala once again. Isn't it? There is no and then this and then that, and because they're inter are also, right? And the more I relate and open in presence, the more I'm going to see. And the more I can see, the more I can form right relationship and then respond from those very things that informed my view: compassion, kindness, equanimity, right? The very things that I began with. And when we don't begin with them, where are we going to go? When we don't begin there, because right view includes them inherently, where are we going to go without it?
Suffering.
Suffering only.
Right there.
Right there. There is the event. What more is there to say then about this? What more do you want to understand, or how else might this be helpful to you before we practice?
James uses the word apperception.
Apperception,
Which
yes.
I like, because
I do too.
Perception, you use a sense.
That's
you
right.
See, you hear, but that's it.
That's right.
With apperception, you bring an awareness to, for example, the simplest thing is the hot stove.
That's right.
You know, if you put your hand on a hot stove just with perception, it burns whatever, you're perceiving that.
Yeah.
But if your preparation says no, that's not good, well then you remove your hands. So, but you know, the pathway, the eightfold, I mean, that's built presumably with as a muscle with training.
Yes.
So that when you every perception, the asshole who runs the red light, whatever, you have that all built in.
Yes.
And that's a lifetime. Well,
and that's a practice for a lifetime. Or many.
10,000.
10,000. I love that image. I've shared it before of the bird flying across the mountain with the ribbon, with the silken ribbon. And it says it takes as long as it takes for that bird and that ribbon to wear down the mountain, going across and across and across. So I don't know how long that is. It's longer than my brain can imagine. But what we can imagine then is what? This moment, right now, which is just the same mountain. It is the same mountain that we are. And then right now, this one, I could not be in hatred this moment, whole mountain, right now, also. Isn't it? I mean, in a big mountain. Non-judgment, right now. Self-compassion, right now. The mountains. Now been. The mountain of what? Suffering. The mountain of suffering. So what else? What is also true in the Dzogchen, this is something that comes out of the early teachings, the Noble Eightfold Path. In fact, one of the greatest. It is the fourth of the Four Noble Truths. By the way, just so you know, this is the what we do as the fourth, right? Recognizing the truth of suffering, recognizing that they are built on causes and conditions. Number two, truth, recognizing that they also have an end, that they are impermanent and can be unlearned, undone, or right? Their reality of mastery and potential, and then the path. And then the path. Okay, I think we're getting the idea. Is there anything more that anybody else knows about the Noble Eightfold Path that you think would be worth sharing? Oh, come on up. Thank you. Come on up. I have a new approach and it appears to be working. which is I won't get distressed. And then eventually it changes, just like we said.
Somebody said on Zoom, the belief that suffering will not last is difficult when you are in it.
Yes. Does everyone know this truth?
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear it.
Yes.
The belief that suffering will not last is difficult when you are in it.
And how are you in it? We have to
Depression.
how you're in it. How are you in it? Voluntarily. Oh, that's hard. And I don't mean that with judgment. But we now have, once again, complete authority. We are agent to our suffering. And I love that. I love that. It doesn't mean we know the way, though, does it? It doesn't mean it. I don't have a clue. And I still think you're an idiot, and that if you'd only be different, this could be a lot better. I just know who's thinking. I just know I'd rather it be somebody else, because in this moment, I don't feel capable. I'm wishing for a fairy godmother, like we all do, don't we? We all want somebody else to be different, or to fix it, or to change it, because in this moment, we're feeling the lack ourselves. And if we weren't, that wouldn't occur, would it? It doesn't mean you would know either. I don't want to, right, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It means you would stay, however. You wouldn't abandon yourself, and you wouldn't abandon the potential or the capacity in yourself. You'd say, I don't know yet, but I can willingly now stay. And the Buddha said this is the whole point of awakening, that moment is actually it. There is no other one. It is the moment that you say, in the difficulty, I already recognize there is a co-creator, a co-arising, dependent arising here, and I will not abandon myself in the face of this difficulty till I can see what then more clearly. The one who can turn towards reality is the awakened one. The one, just simply that, towards the reality is the awakened one. Yes, Robin.
Well,
Yes.
that was my comment. I think, well, that Carrie just read. One of the things that just happened to me yesterday, in fact, was I was in a little slight, crazy mode, and I was feeling a little like low, and there was a huge fear that I would go back to depression. And I had to really just focus on all the things you're talking about to get myself out of it.
Yes. At least acknowledging where you are, Robin, as you did, with some kind of friendliness, right? That I can feel the old pull. And what can I do then caringly for myself in this moment? One is just recognizing it as a moment. Remember the 3 marks of existence, recognizing it as a moment, recognizing that the mind and heart I now bring to this moment is going to shape the next. We get this? The heart mind I bring. So if I bring fear, do we know that fear feeds depression? Anxiety? We do. We do. We know it for sure. Now, that doesn't mean we magically get ourselves out, but we can know fear as fear and now even form a little friendlier relationship. Can't we? We can be a little friendlier with fear because the truth is, right? Sweetheart, I am deserving of care and protection. We can offer that to ourselves in the moment. Not when we are failing so much, we tend to be judgmental, punishing, but in our acknowledging our own fear, This is going to last forever. It's going to get worse. I'm pathetic. I can't get out of this. What's wrong with me? All of this is happening. All of this is happening.
I looked for my strengths.
It's nice to name them.
That's exactly
The name you
what I did.
often be. If you can name it, you can probably be it.
I've thought of this in just more of a felt sense way during difficult times, and the resulting of letting go of my fear is that groundlessness you talk about.
Yes.
And staying in the groundlessness with just, there's suffering, and what can I do with this, and how do I be with that? That's new territory. It's really hard.
That's right.
And trying to find some sort of a balance or grounding in whatever practice I can do, which often for me is nature.
Yes.
Putting my feet on the earth. But also, it can be what you were saying about recognizing, like if someone else came and gave me a hug or reached out or in some way, that's a result of their kindness. That interconnectedness is a treatment for that pain.
Yes.
Of groundlessness.
And you are always that. Even when you're hurting, even when you're confused,
correct.
Even when you don't know what else to do, which is how can I be most kind, most friendly right now, beginning always with myself. And that might mean not expect more.
I do realize that the self-compassion piece is a life changer.
It is absolutely. Just maybe that right now, already clearing the fog, just out of self-compassion, already clearing, because where compassion lives for oneself, it can now be present for another. It doesn't even mean we push it over there. It doesn't work either. We stay with ourselves as long as we need to. Just recognizing this is a difficult moment, says the teachings on self-compassion as researched, right? It says, one, acknowledging the truth of this humanness. Just acknowledging this is the truth of being human. There are moments of difficulty. And then that's the one, right? That's recognition. And then the relational. Others, just like me, know this too. And that actually, according to all the teaching, says you are no longer in I. You have now opened the door to all beings. My humanness, my difficulty, my pain, my suffering, my fear. Number one, recognition. But look at, there's the path again. It's just now the path in Western psychology and research. And then relational. I, right, just like others. Others, just like me, know this too. And then we can feel the heart naturally expands. I can feel for me and all those who know this very moment of depression, sadness, confusion, doubt, or this powerlessness I think we can all get into, can't we? Nothing to do. Never true.
That's a very familiar place.
Oh, isn't it?
I've learned from myself, if I ask myself, would I prefer this moment or none at all? I can get to gratitude even when I'm struggling.
That's right. Isn't it? Or none at all. Because then what? No possibility, no benefit, no love, kindness, compassion, wisdom possible in the none at all. And yet here I am in this one, the co-creator.
And I had to recognize my past patterns.
Nice.
Like my learned patterns. Like
yeah.
I had to go, okay, this is my mother.
Yes.
What I got from her.
Yeah.
So
and it
that
does
was helpful.
come throughout all time, Robin. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only yours.
Mm-hmm.
And that's beautiful to go, right, my mother and her mother and hers throughout all time. Know this too.
And break that chain.
And right now I could feel for myself. very likely unlike my mother and my grandmother and hers.
Mm-hmm.
Just that. That one is called the turn of the Dharma wheel. It's already different right here. I don't have to do it just like it's always been done. Already completely different view, right? Every angle. John Kabat-Zinn called that orthogonal rotations. One click, just one, changes everything. And doesn't it? And you know this because then you wake up in a moment going, would I read? I'll take this one with whatever the difficulty, the challenge, the not liking, the unpleasant, versus not having the opportunity to awaken, to be, to love, to care. And we can every moment then. And so then, last statement, then we realize that in fact the Buddha was not talking about anything extraordinary at all. He was talking about our capacity in this human life. It was not with extraordinary eyes. It was not actually after awakening. It was the process of awakening itself that we are capable of every moment. Every one of us is capable. And look at all the places we can begin. Any one. Do nothing could be a genius wisdom. Do nothing. Don't propagate this. Genius. Just breathe. Genius. Right? Look at this. Breaking that pattern of suffering over and over. But let's not mistake it because the Buddha didn't say it is the Buddha's way. He said it is your capacity. It is your capacity. It is not just mine following awakening. It was the path to awakening that I realized I was capable. And if I was capable, I realized you were capable of this possibility also. Isn't that encouraging? And remember, my favorite phrase is shut up. This is my awakened wisdom, most loving self. Shut up. Don't say it from there. Don't speak it from there. Even if in the background you're better still, just don't put it out there because look at that. Remember that orthogonal rotation? And then repairs, reconciliations, and that doesn't even work, does it? Even then, we can't even go back. It's like, that's done. That one's over. So we get this. Okay. So we're going to hold some of those questions. We're going to practice with those questions. So I'm going to see if I can't find them because I know I wrote them somewhere. So we understand the three marks of existence, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Anatta is impersonal. Dukkha is the imperfect, incomplete. Anicca is impermanent. Anatta is non-self, no self, no one self. Okay. So we're going to get to practice, and I'm going to bring the three questions that I think would be helpful for us. The three marks. From the Buddha's point of view, once you can make contact with that, those three realities, you have everything you need to contribute to the benefit. Here's the practice. So we're going to sit. A little man is already ahead of us. He's all settled in. He's going, I don't know why she won't ring the damn bell. Yep, he's already asleep. He's gone. Okay. And so we're calling to mind the truth of awakening. And then the truth of awakening this very moment. If you can hear my voice, if you can let the truth of what we have been speaking resonate, integrate, metabolize, you are awake. If you know that you're sitting as you're sitting. If you know that you're breathing as you're breathing. And then if you know the quality of your own heart mind, curious, interested, hopeful, confused, that recognition is the beautiful beginning. And so we sit here with all awakened ones throughout all time, right here. These teachings have come from there. All traditions are here. Peoples from all directions, they sit here with us. And so we sit as an awakened one. Find the nobility within the body. The dignity, the privilege. And then be still. And for just a moment, we're going to hold the wide view, the sense, the sounds of the garden all around us. Knowing a sound as a sound, enlightened wisdom. Remembering that you too are a part of this garden being, not separate, not two. And so we begin to breathe with ease. Knowing we are at home. Home to this body sitting in this garden. And you don't have to separate them. This precious human life accorded to few. Each breath precious. We stabilize the mind by allowing it to settle into the breath. Being watchful not to be the conductor of the breath, letting the breath breathe itself. And we begin this practice of recognizing right here in the body breath. We know an in-breath as an in-breath and an out-breath as an out-breath. This is the training ground for all of life right here. Letting the body soften on the release. No bracing against. We are not separate from this life, this moment. Open as completely as you can. We're not looking for some other moment. We're not looking to feel some other way. We're fully arriving just this one breath. Right view, wise view. And as the narrating mind begins to settle, we notice that we are more available to awareness itself. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and the mind that knows it. And we can then be in, see with, and hold the marks of existence in exactly this moment, in this breath. Recognizing this breath, what is impermanent. The breath, the sound, the sensation, the thought, and the concepts of oneself, simply arising and passing. All conditioned things come and go. And then that second inquiry, what is imperfect, incomplete, unsatisfactory this moment? This is a certain quality of mind. A certain preference, a certain bias, and a certain wanting and not wanting. Just knowing this is skillful. Right view includes the awareness of dukkha. What is perceived as insufficient, unsatisfactory, not enough. And if you're able to make contact with this in any way, come back into the breathscape. See the impact to the body. There is a contractedness, a grasping, both in the wanting and the not wanting. Can I simply be here this moment, exactly as it is, exactly as I am, and this is simply a moment. And that leads us to the third inquiry. There is no one solid, fixed, or permanent self here. And if we can loosen some of the strangle on the me and the idea of me who is being neglected, abused, disappointed, what doesn't matter. There will be a lessened suffering. And recollecting those two awarenesses, this is a part of being human. This is a feeling, a thought, an emotion, a belief that is coming and going, changing every breath. We can, in this very moment, then begin to form right relationship, right intention, right thought. And often for me, it's not actually a thought, it's now a little more of an experience. I can simply breathe and let this come and go. Don't have to make the story about me or the other. I can simply be alive and awake to these rising and passing phenomenon. Sounds, sensations, thoughts, and feelings coming and going. And yet, there is that which is unchanging. that which is always abiding, and always here. The truth of this loving awareness, compassionate presence, available every breath. And then I begin to realize that I can breathe and be this, letting all other things simply be as they are, in their coming and in their going, the abiding reality of wisdom, compassion, kindness, and equanimity. And as we invite these qualities, these ways of seeing, of being, of breathing, we cultivate this wise view of both ourselves and the world, which will nourish and nurture the next opportunity for right intent, how to now relate. And we begin exactly as we are. Maybe I can bring wise view to the fact that I'm angry or still frustrated or sad. This is beautiful. And then remember, the Buddha's inquiry says, can you stay with this? Can you be, breathe the truth of this in its also ever-changing reality? And if you know sadness, for example, can you know it this breath? And changed with this breath? And can we invite that friendliness, that gentle care, that tenderness, as we begin attending to ourselves in this suffering? Can we see if we could simply open and not resist whatever is arising, remembering the three marks of existence? Imperfect, impersonal, incomplete. Impermanent, just coming and going. And in our honest reflection, we may begin to notice that there's a storyline that we're hanging on to. This isn't fair, it's not right, it shouldn't be happening. What if it stays? What if it doesn't go? You know, we have lots of thoughts about this. And the thoughts themselves are not the difficulty. In fact, we can allow them. We can accept that thoughts, beliefs, narratives arise and pass, and we can even invite the truth of them. This too belongs. This too is a part of the whole, even the storyline, like it or not. Even when it contributes to certain suffering. In its recognition, it no longer has the same potency. We don't have to resist the thoughts. We don't have to push them away. We can simply acknowledge them as a part of our distress. Or my teacher used to say, believe thought that X. This will help break up the solidity of the suffering. And then finally, we can simply remember that life is the teacher and the teaching. And to the extent that we can open fully to this, we can continue to gain in wisdom, in friendliness, in compassion. Whenever we can say, this is changing every moment, this is imperfect, this does not exist by itself. How shall I meet this moment? And awakening. And then finding the infinite ways to live that awakening. Just now. And may this practice be of benefit to all beings without exception, omitting none. And may it continue. So be it. Take a moment and snap, crackle, and pop those parts.
How interesting, my ego uses distraction to avoid the awareness of impermanence. But that's the end of my ego. That blows me away.
Yes. Does everybody know what Jim just said?
Too well.
Too well. Did anybody hear on Zoom? No. Jim, can you say that again louder?
The ego uses distraction to avoid the awareness of impermanence, which is the end of the ego.
Yes.
Self-defense.
Yes. And the end of suffering.
Two by four, it's a get you.
And the end of suffering.
End of suffering.
Beautiful yellow bird.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a
one.
finch climbing
It's an Oriole.
the Orioles.
We
Yes.
have one in our yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, California Oriole.
Yeah.
The male.
They're very lovely,
Very
and
nice.
enjoy him.
You talk to the evolutionary psychologists, they would say this distraction is all because the system is built on fear for our survival.
Yes.
And it's like this constant battle against our nature of how we're constructed.
Yes. We are also, however, constructed with the capacity to recognize that that's the system that's firing. And we actually have a capacity to begin to relate to it in a way that allows for it to settle, stabilize, soften, come to ease. We're given both capacities. We just tend to fire one way more than the other.
Diana, good morning, will you please restate what he said?
What he said is we are really built for fear. We're built for negativity bias. We're built for the brainstem to fire first, by the way. And that is all accurate. And so it is a system built on the realities of being in distress most of the time. And I said, and yet we are also gifted the opportunity with this beautiful prefrontal in order to recognize what is firing and to begin to affect other possibility. We are gifted this as well. And this the Buddha counted on. Both will be here. But we are gifted this. Now, the interesting thing is this does not fire automatically. This does. So the lizard's always right here at home. We have to actually intention and cultivate this for it to work for us in times of difficulty. That is the practice, that's the repetitions, that's the recognition, and then inviting And that is awakening. That is the neuroscience definition of awakening, lighting up the tree in the neocortex. There it is. And it doesn't mean it's pleasant. It doesn't mean we like it. It doesn't mean we wanted it. This is not any of the point. The capacity is the point. And from both the Buddha's and the neuroscience point of view, better than if you were to leave it to the brainstem, where you are guaranteed suffering. You're guaranteed suffering from there. However entitled you feel, however right you think you are, it is not the whole brain or the whole system or the wholeness. We could, yeah. Somebody? Graciela, are you talking to your dog? Probably.
Oh, sorry, I was
Yeah.
talking to my dog.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I love your dog talkie.
I'm sorry, it wasn't a deep thought. It was my dog talk.
Yeah, that's the same. These are also valuable.
So
What
thank
else?
you for that.
Yes, yes. What else? And so what? We commit. We awaken every moment. We practice. We practice in shallow waters called your closet, your bathroom, your bedroom, the cushion, the garden, so that we can continue to activate, right? Activate, activate right in the midst of the suffering, right there. Can I know this is suffering? Beautiful. And guess what knows? This, not this. Just knowing suffering is suffering. Yay. I don't have a plan. I don't have a clue. I don't know what to do. I don't have a thought. There's nothing. And that's often, I think, the way is that really just awareness itself, this is suffering. And there is no, and now I know how to get out, which we often demand. Well, then why am I still here? Said Mike Shook. Why am I still here? If I know suffering is suffering, it should be gone. No, it is a part of the path. And in fact, it's the beginning of the path, isn't it? But what did the Buddha say? Wait a minute. Recognition is not sufficient. You have to form right relationship. And from that relationship, you cultivate the amazing responses, these other 6 of the noble path. Whether that's right effort, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right concentration, right? Says all of these can then be applied.
It seemed to me that the difference for me was when I went from intellectualizing that,
Yes.
just knowing all of these Dharma principles, to actually feeling it.
Yes.
The felt sense of the gratitude you were trying to get through to us, that made all the difference.
Right.
Like then
That's right.
It comes from there.
It does. And we don't like the curriculum for that because we often begin as a thought. It begins often. A nice thought about gratitude. We all began there a little bit and we all deepened it because then the idea fell away to the reality and the reality is larger, right? Oh, gratitude like this, even gratitude for the difficulty and the opportunity, Jim said, to be with that, to open to that, to learn from that, to love that. And that comes from here. There is no mind that goes, great idea.
I was going to say you can't do that.
No mind. The cost benefit analysis matrix mind goes, nah, no, right. And isn't it beautiful?
The text I'm reading says that one definition of genius, I think the ego would like this, genius is paying attention persistently, not distraction, but continuous attention.
Yes.
So take your pick,
Yes.
Einstein, whoever. That's was their skill set, is
Yes.
paying attention. And I think that's a simple description of mindfulness. Pay attention.
Yes, it is. On purpose, in the present moment. With what? All of these qualities. And it is also can be stepwise, can't it? We can just begin by paying attention. And it is often the thing we mostly don't do. We know, we think, we plan, we organize, right? It doesn't mean we can't do them either, but it often is a mistake to believe that this is the same as, and remember, the Buddha's definition is willingly turning towards the whole of the moment, willingly, with intention, turning towards, particularly then in times of difficulty, times we don't like, times we didn't want. And this is the path to the end of suffering. Oh, you mean staying with it? That doesn't make any sense. And in fact, it is so, because then you see its causes and conditions. And as you recognize causes and conditions for the suffering, what can you do? The third noble truth says, and then you can put an end to them. By going, well, then I won't be that judgmental, and I won't believe that it should just go my way, and I won't because I already recognize that this is a part of the path to suffering. And then the Noble Eightfold Path is right there for us. Okay, so we are getting ready to end. We're going to say the Bodhisattva prayer. I'm just going to look to Zoom, see if there's any other comments before we go.
Our stones.
Our stones. Oh, thank you, Jim. We have the stone work to do. So we have pebbles. Everybody forgot theirs. We're going to do this every week.
Okay.
So I have pebbles to go around.
No, I think we all have them.
Everybody's got them,
Yep.
and I have mine.
Oh, these guys are jumping to them.
So as you are placing your pebble, what we have done last time was just listen to the sound. You can listen to the sound, and if you like to reflect your quality that you're practicing this week or that has been practiced, you can make a statement about that.
I would simply like everyone who was here last week to know that I got a new garbage disposal given to me on
Yay!
Thank you all for your support.
That's a pebble. So we're dropping the pebbles. Remember, we are picking a pebble. There's two ways we've done it. We've chosen a pebble every day. Libby said to me today, I have put a pebble in for us both.
Oh.
I can't wait to hear more about this. I think it's maybe associated with a practice.
Must be a big pebble.
I'm going to say it's a heart pebble.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I happen to have seen the pebble.
Very big.
Yes. So infinitely large. Is everybody else? Do we have everyone? Brad, no? Brad, we have a pebble for you if you'd like to put one in.
Sure.
Yeah. How about if we hand that you pick something out of there, Brad, and then I'd like you to pick something out of there, Brad, to practice with this week. So you're picking two. One to drop in, and then pick one to practice with this week. If anybody else needs a pebble this week, Brad's little plastic container has it.
Thank you.
And so we are continuing the practice. We're waking up and waking up and waking up. The pebble is just one of the mechanisms for that waking up. If we don't set intention with a pebble, the possibilities are zero. And if then it occurs, it's accidental. It is beyond your intention. Can you intention the practice? And can it be this week to call on right view with those three marks of existence? The three marks. It is impermanent. It is not mine. It is not I. It is a part of this being human. And it is incomplete, imperfect, and unsatisfactory. Why? No matter how beautiful it ends. These are the truths we're holding. Okay. And so then we gather ourselves here with those essential truths. Remembering the gift of this precious and brief human life, accorded to few. How fortunate are we to have this opportunity? And we breathe it. And then we recite it, and then we be it. So gathering our hands in some way that feels connecting. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all are awakened. May we all have happiness and the causes for happiness. May we all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May we rejoice, take delight, and be glad for the truth of this precious human life. And may we invite blessings and good fortune for all those others who share this life with us. May we rest and dwell in this vast, open, and infinite, boundless space of equanimity until all beings are free from greed, free from hatred, and free from ignorance. So be it. Thank you all. Just a few announcements. We bagged onions Thursday at San Diego Food Bank. They were like softballs. I have never seen a more beautiful onion, maybe ever. I couldn't get over how beautiful they were. Pure white, all donated, pallets and pallets donated to San Diego Food Bank, and they need them. And we bagged between our Sangha and another group and some volunteers from a county program, we bagged 8,200 and something onions that someone will get. It was pretty impressive. They did not, we all smelled a little oniony, but that's wonderful. And then this Thursday is Philabelly. I think, Lynn, you still need a couple things.
We still need a cup. We need everything except Gatorade, and we especially need entrees.
Entrees in particular. And you know that there's a tuna noodle thing coming and a bratwurst coming.
Yeah, I do have those.
Greg's not here.
Greg's chicken is also coming.
His chicken's coming?
Yeah,
Greg's chicken.
Lisa's doing it.
Oh,
She
wonderful.
trained.
She's got an in-service on the chicken.
In service.
That's very impressive. That's very exciting. And then we have St. Andrews on Tuesday, this coming up Tuesday. And so we are looking for additional monies to be donated to support St. Andrews Food Pantry. We support them already by going down on Wednesdays with Jim and the truck and to get foods from San Diego Food Bank up to the food pantry, but the food pantry also needs other things. And Lisa is in close contact with Chase and others to purchase those things that are not as easily available.
300 families.
300 now families.
I will tell you that I got a completely different list. I was also sorts of different things on it where
Different list.
she was saying that food bank either doesn't have them
Yes.
or they're not available at the
Right.
same price. And some of them are really basic, like milk, just to give you a
Okay.
Yeah, that varies.
Interesting.
They have milk.
shelf-stable milk.
Yeah, they don't have it that often.
They don't have milk very often, so they're needing milk. Well, boy, that feels like a thing to purchase.
Di, do we just send the money to the Sangha or you or
Oh, you
Lisa?
send it to EMC.
EMC.
It's on Venmo.
Yep.
I think
Okay.
it's EMC.
It says Encinitas Mindfulness.
Encinitas Mindfulness, Brad. Thank you, because we don't even know what it says.
There you go.
Thank you.
Encinitas Mindfulness. You can Venmo that. Last month we had a little extra. This month we have a little less. So we can use your help.
Can I ask also? I think I asked this in the past, but I think it was like a water issue about powdered milk to donate or collect the.
Don't
Like I think there was an issue because of water
Yeah.
being available or something like
It's
that.
a couple issues, Tanya, actually.
Okay.
Rather than get into them, I'll just say that powdered milk is not what we're looking for right now.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
But we're giving money.
You're more spending
money.
You can
Uh,
get food
we've
items,
just-
but it's more efficient.
It's easier and better for St. Andrews.
Yeah.
Then, though we in the past have done 4 cans of green beans and it was helpful.
Yeah, no, they'll
It's
take 'em.
they will take them. It is not their preferred. So this is where we just give money because Lisa can go buy the milk and can go buy the beans and can go buy the rice and can go buy what's needed to supplement what we're getting from San Diego Food Bank and can do it at a better price.
Correct.
Actually than we are doing it.
So not through Patreon, we need to get.
Not through Patreon. No, though through Patreon, there is money that goes to our general fund.
Yeah, you can send it to EMC.
Also, there is money that just goes into donations.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't have to
She
get
will use.
Venmo.
She will also. Carrie will use money from Patreon, but we're collecting any additional.
I'm sorry, I got it.
Yeah. So that's for anybody. Not everyone is on Patreon.
Just let Carrie know that.
Yeah.
And the kindness of the community, funds were withdrawn from our friends in Washington, and there was a big fear. It was $2 million, but somehow, miraculously, the community has come through.
They have.
And so now, the first 2 Wednesdays, my truck gets a rest. We simply go down, we load the pallets at the food bank, and then they bring the pallets. San Diego Food Bank actually
Lovely.
brings the pallets
Yay.
on Thursday. So the first Monday and the first Wednesday and the second Wednesday is they still need us to help, but the truck gets a rest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for the truck.
Very nice. Thank goodness for the help in the truck.
Yeah, all that.
And the 15th is next
Yeah,
Wednesday.
that's Jim.
Jim, you're on
Yeah.
with the gyms are on.
Jim's right.
Jim Squares. Okay, are on
Need the truck.
for that.
Third Wednesday.
Thank you. I know there are some needs at the rest of the month.
Yeah, the next one, Paul and Tonya
Good.
are going to go because
Good.
I'll be gone, and then the last Wednesday I have for you and Al,
Yes, we are scheduled.
but I'll be back.
I'm
And
very
Dennis,
excited.
We'll call you Dennis if we need you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dennis.
I'm very excited to actually get down there and participate. Is there anything else we need to know right now other than get your pebble, find your pebble, be walking? I'd like you to carry that pebble now with that inquiry in this week, which is where are things changing? Remember, where is the impermanence? Where is the impersonal? The rain is falling. It is not falling on me. It is not. It is falling, and they can be true, but they are not. It is not because life is looking for you, right? And the truth of suffering in this precious human life, because of its impermanence, we will not get to keep it. So let's use it well. Thank you all for being here today on this gorgeous Saturday. Felicia, please.
On Wednesday, the 15th, if anybody wants to, and this is going in his wife, if anybody wants to join, James Hubble, the group from Vista is doing a work day part of it's going to be if you want to work in the pool. I don't know what exactly they're going to be cleaning, bring a suit, and
Probably
otherwise
cleaning.
they're doing, I don't know if it's weeds or what we're doing, but just something on the property. So you get to go out and get a tour as well at James Hubbell property.
And that is located about
An hour.
hour plus away. It is a full day. As I talked with the Sangha about it, it felt like a little too much,
Okay.
generally.
That's just if you have the
Yes,
day.
if you happen to be interested, however, what a beautiful way to get up to that property because it's stunning to get to experience it. It's also supposed to be hot, so I just want everybody to be a little bit careful. Whoever's going up, just take it easy. Any other things? I think, thank you, Felicia, for that. I think we're good. Randa, I see you online again. So lovely to see you. I hope this is of some benefit to you. Thank you for being here, everyone. Blessings to you all. See you on Tuesday. We will be continuing gratitude. I forgot our gratitude tomorrow. Lynn will be guiding at 7:30 with then right into the celebration with Brother David and his 100th birthday. And that's on our typical normal Zoom meeting. Yeah. So you hopefully will have gotten, there's books here. If you don't pick a book today, remember the mantra is here if you'd like to read about